Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
If barbecue sauce is not already an ingredient in that evening's dinner, he will make it one. What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood. He likes a taco shell filled with shredded cheese. With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson.
I have a kid who does not eat pasta.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas.
So you don't have to.
All right, I'll give you a good go-to. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the What Fresh Hell podcast. This is Amy.
This is Margaret.
And this week we're talking about go-to dinners your kids will actually eat.
I just am going to listen. I'm just going to let you talk, and I'm going to just listen during this episode.
Yeah, this is like this. It's the holy grail, right? Of the thing every one of your kids will eat that isn't pizza.
Well, I was just looking at my kids' menu for school. You know, the cafeteria menu, and I was thinking there must be kids who eat this food. They're not making all this food and throwing it away every day. But there are so many things on that menu that my kids still won't eat.
Like what? Like squash
ridiculous.
frittata? Like very healthy stuff?
Beef nachos Mexican with spiced rice. I mean, no way. No way.
My daughter used to say that her tongue was too sensitive to spicy.
So my kids use the word spicy in a way that really makes me laugh. They were like, they describe, at some point someone had grape Fanta at a party and it's become like, it might as well
Speaking of Holy Grails.
I mean, it's the Holy Grail, like grape Fanta. But my son was like, I love it because it's so spicy. And he just means it tastes really strong.
It wakes up all the different sensors on his tongue.
I'm going to say, and I will say that my kids have gotten much, much, much better. New Food Wednesday, for anyone who is not a regular listener, has really worked. Every Wednesday at my house, it's unfamiliar food night. And everybody knows that the rules of unfamiliar food night are you come to the table, you are not allowed to complain about the food, you try it, and if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but there's no other food served. And it has expanded our horizon, although I realize that I've created a little bit of a catch-22 because like one of the things I made on New Food Night, which is going to be a go-to dinner, empanadas.
Yep.
So easy. And they, as my sister said, they open up a whole world of pocket foods.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my topics.
Yeah, yes. It becomes a pita, it becomes a calzone. Like once you get the pocket food introduced, you're in the world of pocket foods and you've opened up a world.
Yes. Okay, so and pocket foods lead to other pocket foods, and of course what goes in the pockets can be, yes.
Let's start swapping out. All right, so we'll address that a little bit later, but everybody loved empanadas. My son ate like 3 of them. It was a huge hit. But now when I try to give them to him, he's like, but I don't want them. It's not New Food Day. And I'm like, oh, no, the whole idea of New Food Day is you eat it and then it becomes not a new food anymore. So anyway, we've still got to work out the dynamics of it a little bit, but New Food Day has opened up a new world.
You bring up something interesting, which is that so we went on Facebook, as we do. We crowdsourced this one, and we got some great ideas, which I have categorized here. We're going to go through, but it's always surprising, right? What works for your kids, what they'll all decide they're going to eat all of a sudden, can often surprise you, and so that's really interesting that your New Food Wednesday has in fact led to some new go-to things. It isn't, okay, we've had goulash once and never again. The kids are all like, actually,
although
I like
what
this.
I'm saying is like I am having a little trouble with that second step right now, because even if they like the goulash, they're like, but we don't want to eat it again. We tried it. And I'm like, no. So that part needs a little more finessing, but I think we'll get there.
So Jen, on our Facebook page, she said she once tried to make a Venn diagram of food all three of her kids would eat, and then she just gave up.
Right. There was no overlap. They were just three non-interlapping circles.
And I have that and my daughter won't eat shellfish. She says it makes her feel weird. So okay, so I have to honor that, obviously, because there's a difference, I think, between stuff your kids won't eat and stuff your kids can't eat, to state the obvious. So she won't eat shellfish. And used to like it, and now she, it makes her feel very nauseous, and she just has this reaction to it and doesn't want to eat it anymore.
Okay.
But it's my other son. I have a son who won't eat leftovers unless I can successfully repurpose them as something he hasn't seen before. You know what I mean?
I have to say,
this is from last night.
Team your son. I can't eat I cannot eat leftovers.
Well, here's my
princess
go-to.
alert, but
here's
yeah.
my go-to dinner leftover, which is almost any meat sautéed in a pan with some barbecue sauce, with a lot of barbecue sauce, and put on a roll is not leftovers. It's in fact barbecue beef sandwiches or barbecue chicken sandwiches.
Well, last night my husband's going out of town, and I put a pork shoulder in the slow cooker, and now I've got shredded pork meat. So this week, tonight we're having pulled pork sandwiches.
Yep.
Wednesday we will be having, for new food night, this is how we roll. It's not advanced. We're going to be having pulled pork quesadillas, just to be like, look, different food can go in the quesadillas. Like I made shrimp quesadillas one night. It's even the new food could just be, hey, that food, it has a new ingredient in it.
Pocket foods.
Pocket foods.
All right, well, let's talk about those. And since we keep coming back to those, I think those are a hugely important category. Quesadillas, empanadas, I haven't ever made at home. But
so let me just explain that an empanada is just
Hot Pocket.
But you get the pre-made pie dough. It's pre-made.
Oh, but you're making it. I thought you were buying like a box of frozen empanadas. You're making empanadas?
It's almost just as easy. Like it's pre-made pie dough, and then you just put ground beef, pulled pork, whatever you want to put in it, and then you just fold it over and bake it for 30 minutes, put a little egg wash on top, and you're done.
Oh, I like that.
And I think the kids can kind of see what goes into them, and it's a little less mysterious. They can even help make them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do your kids help you make them?
No. I mean, theoretically, like that's one of those things I read in a book, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. If the kids tend the garden and grow the vegetables, they'll want to eat them. The practicality of it gets a little dicey.
We do have a listener named Stacy who has chickens in her backyard, and so her kids eat. She said her go-to dinner was anything eggs, which is like that. I mean, I dream of that. Are you kidding me? I have two kids who would rather starve, but
then eat eggs,
especially for dinner.
I'm not a big egg person
You really
myself.
even for me, like you really have to put a lot of cheese and salsa and
eggs.
Things.
It's just not my thing.
I know they're just not my thing.
I have to say, I mean, I may need this for myself. Like I see all the things I'm like, I don't really like leftovers. Yeah, eggs are gross. That's why my kids are bad eaters, because I'm a bad eater.
Absolutely. You don't make, like, my kids don't eat celery because I hate celery. I'm not sure why there is celery.
Well, you're right. Celery's disgusting.
Right. Salmon.
Oof, hate salmon.
Yeah. And so then I don't make it, and so then you revisit like it, and turns out a couple of my kids do like salmon because my husband likes it and will make it. And I'm like, you have that, but
we haven't even opened the fish door. I mean, we have
fish sticks.
Yeah, I mean fish sticks, but
those aren't right. You can't pat yourself on the back for that.
I'm not sitting around making a piece of fish. It's so true that we grew up this way. Like we grew up in a house where like the kids ate kid food because my dad worked late, and then my mom would make a nice dinner for her and my dad to eat later. And I think that we would never have eaten like pulled pork as kids. Like we only ate like 6 things in a rotation basically. And it's fine. We're all fairly normal eaters now. It worked out. So like even if your kids are horrible eaters, don't sweat it that much. It works out. It's fine. I realize that for me, like I feel like my kids are like the fact that they've tried shrimp, they're like, whoa, way outside the norm. But they're actually quite picky eaters still.
Do you think? I think shrimp kind of showed up a lot on our Facebook page as one that kids will eat. I mean, as opposed to a piece of tilapia or something. Shrimp just somehow it's a little sweeter and it's bite sized or something, and the kids it showed up a lot as something that as a go-to dinner. And it also takes 5 minutes.
I mean, I love shrimp. I would eat shrimp for every meal. I love shrimp, but I do think there's a texture issue. Like, my sensory guy doesn't like shrimp. And I do think there's my sister who will eat like a cow's face. Like, she's one of those people who like goes to like weirdo restaurants and eats crazo stuff, but she won't eat shrimp. She's like, oh, it tastes like a brain. It's kind of right. Like it's got a gross texture.
I can't help you there. I do have for those of you.
I love it. I mean, I love it, and I do serve it to my kids.
It's a go-to dinner in my house. I have a recipe. I'll put it on the show page. It's 1 pan shrimp and broccoli. You just sort of put it on a big pan with some olive oil and a bunch of salt, and you stick it in the oven for 15 minutes, and it's a 1-pan dinner. And my kids all eat it from a pretty young age. So that's
all right.
That's one of my go-to dinners.
I mean, I will say that the thing that has delivered us with our go-to dinners basically is ketchup. I put the story up on the Facebook page a long time ago, so I'll tell it very briefly. But my son, so you get to request, people can request on New Food Wednesday. So like my son was like, I want to try sausage. Like, all right, I put sausage and pasta, whatever. Wasn't a big hit. It actually didn't taste very good. I didn't do a good job making it. But my oldest came home and firmly announced that what he wanted for New Food Wednesday was lobster thermidor, which I later found out it's because it was Batman's favorite food.
Yeah, in the Batman Lego movie.
Yes.
He's home by himself. He comes home and the butler's made him lobster thermidor and he like eats it over the sink.
That is what my son wanted. And so I kind of got caught up in it and I made lobster thermidor, which we'll have to just post the recipe on the show page so people can know how bonkers this process was.
Right, exactly. You could have opened a can of like, I don't know, New England clam chowder and said it was lobster thermidor, but
exactly.
you went the distance.
Well, it just tickled my funny bone, and so I actually made lobster thermidor, which at one point involves making a lobster custard with like eggs and the shells. I mean, it was bonkers. But I served it. My husband, first of all, I mean, it is a dish that could only have been invented in the 1970s. It's like 4 sticks of butter and heavy cream and I mean, it is so unhealthy. My husband would have eaten 8 servings of it. I mean, he was in heaven. My other 2 kids were like, it's gross, I don't like it. But my son, who ordered it, just poured a load of ketchup on top of it and ate every single bite of it. And he's like, me and Batman have something in common. We love this stuff.
Did it hurt you inside at all when your lobster custard had ketchup going on top of it?
I just was so happy that it was being eaten. I mean, he ate a huge serving of it. And so,
I've come to accept that. One of my sons wants barbecue sauce, which I do think is a go-to dinner enabler. But he will put, if barbecue sauce is not already an ingredient in that evening's dinner, he will make it one. He'll have a bite and he'll think about it, and then he'll get up without saying anything, and he'll go over to the refrigerator and he'll come back with the Trader Joe's barbecue sauce, and I'm just like, whatever, knock yourself out.
Yeah, that is definitely something to let go of. Like I laugh about this with my husband all the time because I was never a cook. Before I was married, I would cook myself like a veggie burger or whatever. I just was never someone who cooked ever, anything. I was a baker a little bit, but I never cooked. I mean, I would assemble food for myself, like pre-made ravioli with a little pesto sauce and a salad, like that.
Right.
That was the kind of cooking I did.
Trader Joe's open bag of frozen Trader Joe's something.
Yeah. And so since I got married and had kids, I've really invested kind of a lot of time into figuring out how to cook. And now I'm a decent but not great cook. But I can really make
thermidor,
something.
I can make a lobster.
I can make a lobster thermidor. Like I can
whip that up. You could throw that together.
Very good at following a recipe. And I realized with my husband, we call him the goat because like everything is good to him. He loves everything. Like tin can or lobster thermidor, he likes them both, And it used to kind of drive me crazy that like I could spend 6 hours recreating like a favorite dish of his that he once had at a restaurant. It would take exactly the same. And he would love it. But if I heated up some leftover pulled pork and threw it on a Hawaiian roll, he would love it exactly the same. And I used to kind of get a little nuts. Like, but one of them I worked 6 hours. You got to take yourself out of the equation. Like,
right.
If they're eating, I don't care if they're putting barbecue sauce on it. I don't care if they're dumping ranch dressing. Whatever it is, if they're eating it, your job is done. Walk away.
Yes, that's the goal. So I think that's why the go-to dinners have to be something that doesn't take 6 hours, because you need to detach from your effort being what they're supposed to be applauding instead of just shoveling it in their mouths.
For sure.
Particularly when you have 2 teenage boys, as I do. I just, at least 3 nights a week, just make a pound of pasta in addition to whatever we're having. And there's also pasta, because they'll eat it. It'll go. And then you don't have to hear anybody complain.
I have a kid who does not eat pasta.
Any sorts?
Any sorts.
I had a son who would only eat penne, not ravioli, no other tubular pasta, just penne for like 10 years. But
I just sat him down. I used to have a kid who didn't eat pizza, and I just sat him down and I said, here's the thing. You have got to learn to eat pizza, because it's served at every birthday party.
Right.
It's served everywhere. It's not liking pizza is not an option in your life. And I just had that same come to the woodshed moment with my son. I just said, you've got to figure this pasta thing out, because it's too annoying that you don't eat pasta.
No, as you travel out in the world, the thing that will be offered to you as a sop picky eater is pizza or pasta, right? But you have to be able to use those, since you won't want anything else that people will offer you.
And you eat bread and you eat flour. I actually used to think he had some sensitivities around flour. Again, don't project. It's just no, you got to figure this one out. Mm-hmm. Got to be able to eat pasta.
Mm-hmm. Butter or sauce?
So one of my go-to dinners is spaghetti and meat sauce, because the 2 kids eat the spaghetti with no meat sauce, and the other kid eats the meat sauce with no spaghetti. So I consider it a victory of a dinner, because everybody eats. But I will say, I do think there's a factor of age at play. We were just with my whole family, and our whole family is now 16, 17 people, meaning my siblings, their wives, kids. And we'd gotten trays of lasagna, because what else are you going to serve, 18 people for dinner? And my kids basically would be like, I don't want lasagna.
Yeah, my kids don't love lasagna either.
And we just served it, and I was like, this is what's for dinner. And they kind of made do. They didn't eat a giant, huge helping, but we've spoken about it before on picky eater topics. There is a biological imperative that little kids, new foods, they're dangerous. There's a reason why they kind of don't eat them. It does get better. Even my quite picky 9-year-olds kind of reluctantly ate the lasagna.
Well, I think there's a difference between when you're out at, Aunt Phoebe's house and there's lasagna and that's what there is, you figure it out, and then our sort of weekdays at home. That's why we do, but when it's our kids and it's another Wednesday night, we do have to figure out things they will eat. Because you were talking about school lunches before, and it seems to me there are two ways the school lunches can go. One is what you were saying, that it's squash frittata, and they're trying to feed the kids more healthy foods, and so therefore your kid doesn't really eat lunch. That's what I see happening. My kids come home like, lunch wasn't that good, and so they didn't eat lunch. Or I was watching this Netflix documentary called Fed Up, which is about childhood obesity.
Yeah.
And sugar, and it's Katie Couric is narrating it. I really recommend it because it's really changed some of my notions that I had about what's healthy eating and what isn't. That it's really all about sugar. But the sort of one of the many devils in this documentary is the school lunches, which at least in this documentary, the kids are still having pizza and French fries because they both count as vegetables due to the food lobbying.
Right.
And so your kids are either getting a healthy lunch at school and not eating it, or eating junk at school and eating it. So
right.
you do have
it's
to
a constant problem of they the studies are like, if you put in healthy lunch, and kids are going to have soda and M&Ms from the vending machine. Although I think they've taken vending machines out now, but it's like they're just going to not eat it.
Right. So either way, you can't every night say, "Oh, it's lasagna too bad." You do need to figure out things your kids will actually put in their mouths once in a while.
And I could probably make a squash frittata that my kids might eat because it's fresh and hot. I mean, the problem is also mass industrializing healthy food. It all tends to turn a little gray and sickly. It's harder to make healthy, bright veggie foods for 3,000 people than it is to make it for 3 people.
Right.
All right, give me another.
All right, I'll give you a good go-to.
Yes, I need one.
My sister-in-law, she put this on Facebook, and I'm putting it on our Facebook page because it's so good. This is one of her, like, on the fly, oh my God, it totally worked. Asian noodles. She's like, okay, what's for dinner? She took a pack of egg noodles.
Okay.
Boiled them, and then just for the last minute that they were boiling, when she was about to dump them out, threw in some like chopped up leftover vegetables that she had around, like a couple of baby carrots and a little bit of broccoli, just sort of the ends of what was ever in the refrigerator. Threw those in for the last minute, drained it all together, tossed it all with a bunch of soy sauce, Asian noodles. And her kids were like, couldn't get enough of it.
Huh.
And she totally tripped and fell into her new go-to dinner.
That's a good one. I mean, again, I feel like my kids would still be like, there's weird stuff in these noodles, but you just got to power through.
You do.
Power through.
You do. We served, my brother's kids were visiting us, and my kids love dumplings, speaking of container foods.
Oh, I know.
And it's just like ravioli, but since my kids are New Yorkers, it's just like dumplings are so omnipresent that to us, they just seem like eating Pop-Tarts or French fries, like the most...
Right.
Picky eater friendly food, but to these cousins they're like, what is this? And so we wanted them to have these dumplings, and my 6-year-old nephew cut into it and he said, I see there's some little bits of green in there. And my oldest was making a valiant effort saying, no, don't you see like the outside of the dumpling, they dyed it a little bit pink, and so that's just a little bit of like extra flavor sprinkles that are green and they put in there. And the 6-year-old like takes one bite and then he says, well, my least favorite food is dumplings. But he tried it.
That's like when people are like, and then I just throw vegetables in the last minute. It's like this. My 6-year-old still has that thing of like, there is something green. Like their detector is so set to like, I will find the weird vegetable you put in here, you know?
I've given up on sort of trying to integrate the vegetables into stuff. Like I have beef stroganoff on the docket for this week because it's egg noodles. Everybody likes beef. Everybody likes. I'm going to put some mushrooms in there and we'll see what happens. But my kids are old enough now. It's like, oh my God, just pick. They've moved past the super picky thing.
Right.
But in our house, the best way to serve vegetables that my kids will eat is just to serve them raw. Carrots and those little sweet peppers you can get in the grocery store now, like bags of mini sweet peppers, and even green beans. They will eat all of those raw much more than they'd eat them in some, fancy, I don't know, almondine way that I made in the oven.
That's right. I mean, that's how I find it too. And we do a lot of dinners that are like the picture of the plate, like chicken, roast chicken or rotisserie chicken, vegetable like steamed broccoli or plain carrots or something, and then biscuit or roll, and then maybe rice or some sort of starch. But like those dinners we have very little problems with. Those kind of very standard, like everybody take a little bit of everything.
The rice cooker is definitely your friend, right? I've discovered that if I'm either making a pound of pasta or a couple of cups of rice. Do you have a rice cooker?
Yes.
I mean, it's so fix it and forget it. It's really worth the $25.
Yeah.
What about a slow cooker? Let's talk about slow cookers. Do you have go-to slow cooker? Well, you just said you do a pork shoulder.
Just did a pork shoulder, pot roast. Anything that comes out of the slow cooker goes onto that picture plate where it's like anything. Whenever I say to my kids, what are we having? Roast pulled pork, roast pork, chicken. Like the protein problem, that's totally interchangeable. Fish is a little dicier if I'm like, oh, the protein piece of the plate is fish, dicier. But basically, everything that comes out of the slow cooker is fine.
We have a baked beans in the slow cooker recipe that my kids, if you're trying to get your kids to eat
serve
beans.
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 I didn't grow up eating beans.
They're great for your heart.
Okay.
Beans in the slow cooker, it's just beans with an entire bottle of barbecue sauce. And my child, like his face lights up when I say we're going to have baked beans for dinner. So they could be.
But that's not the dinner. That's a side.
Well, it could be the dinner, but it's usually a side for us, yeah. Because at this point, I'm just making vast quantities of food.
Right.
So yeah, there'd be baked beans and some and the rotisserie chicken and a pound of pasta. Yeah, and that's what's for dinner. But beans are, and then the quesadillas, that's a good place to get some black beans in. We weren't always eating beans at our house either. Although my picky eater as a child, we've talked about this, about how like your picky eaters just grandfather in the most random things that are left over from when, this is how I think it happens. They're 1.5, they'll eat anything. They're 2, they won't eat anything. But they all have left over some very strange holdovers from the time when they were more amenable to eating. And so my picky eater ate white beans with rosemary. He loved that. He would eat penne, chicken nuggets, and white beans with rosemary, and that was about it.
That's a weird trifecta right there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's one of my go-to dinners, and that's probably pretty random. But I have a shrimp with white beans and rosemary. That also takes 5 minutes. I'm going to put that in the show page too.
And I want us to go to break, but before we do, I'm going to give one last tip on this topic,
okay,
which I've started doing, and it's really helped me. I have a notebook that I carry everywhere. It's called the Book of Meg. I write everything down in my book. Keep a running list of the foods that your kids eat. And then therefore, when you're making your weekly menu, you go and you're like, oh, we could do white beans and rosemary. We could do those kind of beans. Mine's are like ribs, empanadas, quesadillas, tostadas. Like every time you plant a new flag, write it in your book. Because what we tend to do, if I don't look at the book, is kind of fall back to the same 4 foods all the time.
Yeah, I like that.
And you have like a list of, even if it's 65 different dishes, you just you mix and match off of that list rather than having to reinvent the wheel every week.
65 dishes.
I mean, no, I have like 12.
Okay.
I'm saying, what if you did? Yeah, I said, even if you did. I don't.
Okay. I like that. I have my own version of that, but let's go to break and we'll come back and I'll tell you how I do the same thing.
All right, good. We've had a lot to say already, but much more to come. Listen to this comedy bit and we will be back to talk more about go-to dinners.
For some of us, tax season is one of the only times that we look at our finances fully. And once it's over, well, that was terrible. And it is completely understandable not to want to think about it for another whole year. But using Monarch and being intentional with your finances in an ongoing way helps you see where your money is going and how you can put your refund to best use.
We are here to tell you, simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop.
Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code FRESH.
As you know, my husband and I are preparing to send, 3 kids off to college, and I cannot tell you how helpful Monarch has been in showing us our full financial picture, helping us to track our spending and reach important savings milestones. Our weekly meeting, Amy, it's now run by Monarch.
Love it. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple.
Use code FRESH at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code FRESH.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
If you like food TV, you'll just love Food TV Junior, offering a range of programming that covers the topics kids care about most. Tune in tonight when our programming kicks off with Why Are These Foods Touching?
The peas are touching my bread. I'm not eating that. Why are these fruits touching?
If you make me eat this, I will cry.
At 7:30, we bring you our beloved classic, That Looks Weird.
Is that something green?
That looks weird. Why did you make this? Are you trying to torture me?
Immediately followed by back-to-back episodes of all sorts of chicken nuggets.
Yay, chicken nuggets.
And don't forget to tune in Saturday for an all-day marathon of That's Not How Liam's Mom Makes It.
She doesn't make that weird brown part on top.
That looks really gross. Not gonna eat that.
Food TV Junior, where kids come to eat.
That smells like vomit. Can I just have a sandwich instead?
So, Margaret, what are the 2 worst questions about dinner?
2 worst questions about dinner would have to be what's for dinner and also what's for dinner.
Yes, what's for dinner, but then who's going to get what's for dinner? Other stuff.
Also terrible. Who's going to do the shopping?
Terrible. So I come to you today with a new answer to both questions. What's
Okay,
for dinner?
hit me. And what's for dinner? The answer is always, it's me who gets this stuff, right?
Well, now it's going to be what's for dinner? HelloFresh. Who's going to get all the stuff? HelloFresh.
Amy, tell me more.
Did you know HelloFresh makes it convenient and easy to cook balanced and delicious dinners for your family for less than $10 a meal?
I mean, I did because I read the copy, but also I did because I've tried HelloFresh. So I'm not only a spokesperson, I'm also a satisfied customer.
I am too. Well, what do you like best?
I'm going to go with the fact that there are so many one-pot recipes and it's easy cooking and even more importantly, easy cleanup. Amy,
Yeah.
what's your favorite part?
Well, for me, I like that there are 3 plans to choose from, the classic veggie and the family plan, which obviously is what I pick. And it sort of features meals for the whole family that your kids will want to eat.
That's always a tricky one that
Yeah.
your kids will want to eat. But Amy, what if I'm the kind of person, which I am, who's afraid to commit to things like HelloFresh because what if my plans change?
No, I know what you mean. It can be a hassle with these online things, but this one, they make it super easy to suspend delivery for 1 week or 6 weeks, whatever you want, and you pick the delivery day that works best for you, and that can also change from week to week.
And you know I love a new Food Wednesday, Amy. What could be better than HelloFresh for a great way to get your family out of their comfort zone and try new things you never thought you'd cook without having to make things like lobster custard for a lobster thermidor?
This and something that works for me is that when the HelloFresh comes, my kids are excited to unpack the box with me, and then they're looking at the cards and they actually want to cook. They're prepping and they're chopping, which it does not usually happen. And then because they're making it, then they eat it. They eat the new thing.
Amy, I would like you to give me an example of this from your real life.
So we just tried in our HelloFresh box. We got the tomatoey tortelloni soup with baby spinach and sausage, and they ate it, and everybody ate spinach, and it was really good.
I mean, everyone ate spinach. You've got me with the line, everyone ate spinach.
Exactly.
Guys, if you're like me, you've been hearing these ads forever, but you were too busy with other things, too intimidated to try it. Seriously, this is the perfect solution for those of you who are looking for new go-to dinners.
So for $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, you just visit HelloFresh.com and you enter the code MOTHER30.
That's HelloFresh.com, code MOTHER30. Check them out. Okay, we're back, guys.
We're back. So I do my version of the the list of foods, and I do it on the internet because I'm more of a online person. But I use Evernote, and I have a what's for dinner this week document that I keep going, and then I just kind of cut and paste it.
I mean, of course you do.
Well,
But
it's the
go
same
on.
as a written list. I'm just doing
I know
it.
it is.
But I hate figuring out what's for dinner. I hate it. I hate it's 5:30 and what are we going to eat?
Yeah.
And I discovered in the last year that taking all the pain on a Sunday and writing out who's for dinner Monday night, and my kids are older now, so it's like this one isn't home Wednesday night, this one's not getting home until 7:15 on Thursday night, and my husband's traveling for 3 days. It's a very moving target how many people you're cooking for that night. And so I make a list of who's going to be home each night of the week, what time I can start making dinner, if at all, or if it's going to be a order dumplings night. And
Right.
and then I go back to the last 3 months of what we made for dinner. They're all just in this doc
Yeah,
and
that's
just flip
smart
through
because
and
then
be
they're all the same place.
yeah. And then I do try to pull in new stuff, as you said, so you don't go to the same fallbacks, but you do sort of say, oh yeah, I forgot we had Asian noodles and they liked it, and you put it on there.
I think that's a really good suggestion. And in general, I keep a whiteboard in the kitchen, and for those of you with younger kids, I actually keep a whiteboard with all the days of the week, and then on Sunday we fill out, and the kids can have input. Like, what do you want? Okay, we can have that Sunday, Monday. And it also helps with younger kids, especially kids who have anxiety around their food, that it's kind of predetermined what's for dinner. We don't have the debate every night. It's like they say about going to the gym, like write down the days you're going on your calendar and then go those days. If you have to have a conversation about what's for dinner every night, it's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I feel so much better when I'm like, okay, it's Wednesday night and I'm looking at my list. Okay, it's beef stroganoff, and I already had the ingredients because I ordered them all on Sunday night when I decided what we were having
That's
all
what
week.
we do. I mean, we do
And
the
it's just
shop,
there.
but like Sunday big shop. And the other thing is, one of the many things we were having a problem with was wasting food. Like, I would go to the store and be like, oh, let me get this pork tenderloin. The kids like that. Oh, let me grab this. And then, we would get busy and this one was in town. Let's go out to dinner. And the food would go to waste. And now I make the entire weekly menu before I shop. And I just get the things on the menu and we eat what's on the menu. And if we miss for some night because we went to your school play and let's all go grab pizza afterwards and make a nice night of it, everything just bumps a day. It's just the food waste has been way cut down by being slightly more organized about it.
I never thought, as somebody who really doesn't really like meal planning and cooking, and I don't like it. So the last thing I thought I was supposed to do is lean into it and get all family circle about it and plan it out ahead of time. And yet it is, in the end, like I said, you take all the pain for about an hour and a half on a Sunday night. I'm planning the menu and then I order most of our groceries online because that's in a big city, easy to do. New Yorker. But I do it all on Sunday and then I don't have to think about it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's worth it to take the pain.
I am the person who, when people make parenting suggestions, I'm like, that might work for you, but not for me. That's terrible. I don't want to do it. That sounds like work. But this is so worth it. So worth it.
Yeah. All right. Ready for a go-to dinner?
I'm ready.
Sheet pan fajitas. This is another one pan thing. I got this from Williams Sonoma of all places.
I'm adding that to my list.
It came in a box with a new blender. It's just like skirt steak, which you can get these days already pre-marinated in the grocery store, right? Get a bag of skirt steak that's already marinating and whatever, and just slice it up, and then you cut up some peppers and onions, if your kids will do onions, and you stick it in the oven, and it's one pan. You don't have to. And my kids are so excited when they hear that that's what's for dinner.
And if you want to go a little bigger with it, put avocado. Give them lots of choices of stuff to put in.
Yes,
which is another suggestion that I often hear, and I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Except for my kids just choose meat and cheese. I was driving home with a friend yesterday, and my son said, we need to have taco night. I love tacos. And my friend said, oh, what do you like? What kind of tacos do you like? And he said, oh, cheese tacos. And she's like, oh, that sounds like you just like a lot of cheese on them. I'm like, no, he likes a taco shell filled with shredded cheese. That's what he means by a cheese taco. So I do think sometimes that suggestion of let them pick the wonderful fresh vegetables they're going to put in it. It's not always 100%.
It doesn't, but and it does use every single bowl in the house too, which I don't love about taco night. But that's also on heavy rotation for us because they do get there. They start, you're right, with the taco with cheese. We do something called walking tacos, which my sister-in-law Diane got us going on. I think it's like a camping thing, but we just do it. Instead of taco shells, you just have a bag of Tostitos. So you have a bowl of Tostitos, and the kids can crumple those up and put it in with. We put salad stuff out, and then taco meat and cheese and guacamole and salsa and black beans, and then Tostitos. And so most of the kids do it all in a bed of Tostitos, not on a bed of lettuce. But they come around, and that's how I ended up getting black beans in my kids' diet. They all sort of reluctantly on the fifth time tried some, and now they eat them. And I've done other versions of that too. You can find I'll put some up on the page, souvlaki bowls, and you put out again, I know your kids probably won't eat these the first time they see it, but feta cheese and olives, and here's chicken, and here's some diced peppers, and it uses every darn bowl in the house. But if you really are struggling with making one dinner for everybody, those
it's a nice way
those
to
make
do
your owns can be a pretty good way to do it.
And yeah, if you're willing to commit, we once had a taco night when the kids were quite small, maybe like 4, 3, and 2 or something. I think I took a picture. If I can find it, I'll put it up on the show page. But it ended, and I said to my husband, we would have done better just crushing up some taco shells, cheese, and chicken, and putting it in front of a high-powered fan and blowing it at the children, because they would have probably gotten more food and made less of a mess. Like, that's what it looked like just a taco apocalypse in the kitchen.
You said
so
that.
You might want to hold off on that until they're a little bit older.
Yeah, maybe. You said that about biscuits recently too, that the crumbly biscuits.
I don't know. I've been finally sitting my kids down on a couple of these issues and saying, like, we have reached the end of the, like, you just pulverize a biscuit with your fingers, eat 2 bites of it, and the rest of it is like in my hair. Like that, you stop. It's enough. You're at an age now where you just take a bite of a biscuit and then you put it back down on your plate.
Let's move on to soups. I have Jay Leno does material on this. That soups, he doesn't eat soups, or he doesn't understand soups. Like they're not dinner in his point of view. Like, okay, now I had some soup. Now where's my dinner? I kind of have that feeling about soups. I wouldn't serve those as a main course for my dinner because that's like, where's my dinner? What do you think?
We do soup for dinner sometimes, and we do have this great soup that all of my kids eat, and it is chicken, broccoli, leeks, and then I blend it with an immersion blender. So it's like you don't have the option of like picking around the stuff. We call it green soup, and it's green soup and biscuits night, and that's one of our go-to dinners. And we just started that one really when they were really young, and like we've carried it all the way through. And the kids occasionally were like, I don't like this anymore. And I'm like, too bad, it's green soup and biscuits, one of our go-to dinners.
And the idea that green soup was somehow sort of grandfathered in as something. You're like, there you go. That's a perfect example. I won't eat pasta or pizza, but green soup, okay, I'll tolerate that. Is crazy, but that's why we have to share these ideas, because I would never consider that as a dinner.
Being sometimes kind of labor intensive, but it's not really. I don't know why. I'm just not a big soup person. I look at people's soups and I think that sounds really good.
For somebody else?
For somebody else who wants to do that.
So Rebecca.
So for some soup freak.
Rebecca must be a soup freak. She recommended on our Facebook page making a loaded potato soup.
So I've done it.
I think it's like bacon and cheese and potatoes and...
I don't mind like a blended, like a baked potato soup. To me, that's dinner. Like a watery, like things floating around in its soup, for some reason, I have more trouble with.
A consommé.
Yeah, that doesn't seem appealing to me.
But she didn't put up the recipe for a loaded potato soup, but I'll see if I can link to a good one, because I tried that.
There's tons. They're good. That you could sell that.
And there's bacon in it, right? Which is another.
It's just basically like baked potatoes, bacon and cheese. So
do your kids eat bacon?
Oh yeah, I'm 3 for 3 on bacon.
Bacon, BLTs are a go-to dinner in my house.
Yeah.
And you
we
make
don't
it.
Do that.
If you do a BLT, do you have a George Foreman grill? I still have an old school George Foreman grill.
No, because it's not 1986.
Oh my
Amy.
God! You will pry this out of my cold dead hands, because it makes bacon. It cooks it on both sides, and the grease all drips out onto this little plate you put underneath it, and it's so easy to clean up. So we will make.
Just make it in the microwave.
BLTs. Oh, within the paper towels and stuff.
Yeah.
Yuck, yeah. I feel like that's a mess, but at least it soaks up the grease.
Yeah, I don't know. I just throw away the paper towels and I'm done.
But neither one of us uses a pan. That's interesting.
Okay, I want to talk about another go-to dinner that is random that my sister introduced me to, and I was very surprised by it, but we've had some good luck with it.
Okay.
Savory muffins. So instead of making muffins that are just like blueberry muffins, like egg and bacon muffins.
Okay.
I can sell those things, and then you can reheat them and have them for breakfast in the morning.
The egg, I wouldn't talk about the egg. I think I would just sort of let it be
No,
there.
don't talk about anything that's in them.
Bacon, you can say.
Yeah, like
bacon's evident. You can smell it.
Savory muffins. I've never thought of it. It was a good one for us.
That's related to something a couple of people mentioned, which is the breakfast for dinner category.
Yes.
That Sarah has a toddler who won't eat anything at all except breakfast for dinner. He likes pancakes and sausages for any meal of the day.
Well, I mean, I had such a revelation at some point when I was making pancakes and bacon for dinner. When we were growing up, every once in a while, my mom would announce it's breakfast for dinner, and we would just go insane. Like, my mom is the best mom in the world. She loves us so much. She's letting us have breakfast for dinner. And I remember the day where I was like flipping the pancakes at 6:00 at night, and I was like, oh, she did it because it was so much easier than making a real dinner. Like, it was so funny. Like, the scales fell from my eyes. And I was like, this thing that I thought she did because she just was like, I want to delight you, was because she was like, oh,
It was a total 70s thing.
it's pancakes for dinner. Like, I can't face another dinner.
I never had that, but I remember I was in about 3rd grade, and I was over at Michael O'Hara's house for dinner a couple blocks away. And could I stay for dinner? Yes, I might stay for dinner. And they had, pancakes and bacon for dinner. And I was like,
You're
to
living
live
in
in
it.
such a world
Right.
with such things in it.
Lions lay down with lambs. Like, it's like the world has gone mad. It's pancakes for dinner.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so great.
I might do that tonight.
It's so fun.
I'm not sure I agree that pancakes aren't labor intensive though. I mean, you just have to stand there and watch it and watch it and watch it and flip it, and then you've made one.
No.
It's different than
but for some reason they're not as bad as dinner. Why? I don't know.
I think in the 70s that just like everybody's world was smaller. Like our moms weren't going to make sheep pan fajitas. Like, what were fajitas, right?
God. I mean, that's the other perspective that you should always bring into this. Our moms were not listening to a podcast that was like, try sheep pan fajitas. Like, they were just like, here's your roast, here's a roll, go play outside. I mean, it's great. Like, have a go-to dinner, but don't stress so much.
My mom did
Sheep pan fajitas.
Spanish rice. I'll have to ask her for that. That was her go-to dinner, and it just was rice with I think a can of stewed tomatoes like mixed in with it, and sort of a like plug-in countertop saute pan. That was her favorite.
Picture this. Was it white with blue flowers on the side?
It may as well have been.
Oh yeah,
Corningware.
Corningware.
I think she still has it. It was I remember her always saying this was a wedding gift, and I love it. See, that was her George Foreman grill. And if I may go back to the George Foreman grill, I'm going to stand by it. And I'm going to say, if you want to make...
You can give as many tips as you want about your George Foreman grill, but you are the only person left in the North American continent who still owns a George Foreman grill.
This episode should be brought to us by the George Foreman grill.
But it's not, because there is no such thing.
Well, I think you can still get them at a
20
CVS.
years.
Can't you still get them like in the bottom shelf?
Maybe.
But if you make French toast on a George Foreman grill, again, it's like this, 2 sides. You don't have to flip it. Grilled cheeses, I'm telling you, this thing is like, forget it, walk away, come back. There's none of this pancake flipping like, ooh, is it set yet? And let me try to get the spatula underneath it. It's foolproof for somebody like me who really just wants dinner on the table.
All right, give me another go-to dinner.
Well, my sister swears by the Weelicious website.
Oh, I do love Weelicious. That's a great website, guys, if you're not on it.
Yeah, and my sister's vegetarian. Her kids eat some meat. She has 4 little boys. So she's vegetarian, so she's always trying to get, vegetarian mains in for them because P.S. she's also making dinner for herself. And so she swears by this vegetarian tagine. It's tomato-based. And I do think if you have almost anything with a can of stewed tomatoes, you can, if your kids will eat spaghetti and tomato sauce, they will eat most things that taste tomatoey.
Right. So
she has this vegetarian tagine that she makes all the time, so I'll put that recipe up. But she also says she makes her kids chickpea tikka masala and that they all love that. So could be. It's like your green soup. Like, that sounds crazy to me, but she says her 4 little boys love chickpea tikka masala. So I will put that on the page as well.
That's in another go-to is just roasted chickpeas. I had them in a restaurant once. I mean, this was 4 years ago. And they were the most delicious. I was like, how does one magically make chickpeas so delicious? And the answer is you just put them in a pan and roast them, and they are like popcorn. They're so good.
They get crunchy?
Yeah, they get crunchy.
Wow.
They're delicious. Roasted chickpeas. I'll try to find it and put it up. But even my kids will eat those.
I think roasting is the key to vegetables that one's kids will eat, right? Like, my kids don't want like frozen broccoli cooked on the stovetop, but they'll eat
that. Yeah.
Roasted broccoli in the oven is really, really good.
We are so stuck right now, but I make it every single night. Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes. You just cut them up raw, put olive oil on them, and roast them in the oven at 425 with some garlic on them and olive oil. It really tastes good.
Yeah.
And the kids will eat it. And it's just, again, I find myself constantly vegetable and then steaming the broccoli or whatever. This is just You just olive oil and roast it in the oven. It's so much better.
Danielle from our Facebook page says she serves a lot of roasted potatoes. But here's the very important go-to dinners tip. She said her kids eat roasted potatoes because she calls them fries. So it's all in the branding.
Marketing and branding, people.
Right? It is all in the branding. My daughter, who says that shellfish makes her feel sick, she also says that she can't eat beef. Beef doesn't make her feel well, but she can eat steak. Elizabeth says that her kids eat falafel as a go-to dinner.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like, I'm like, really?
I mean, but you can get them frozen at Trader Joe's. I might try that.
You can't make them on a George Foreman grill, a falafel ball.
It's out for you because you're not making. You're not. Falafel. I'm putting that on my list.
I mean,
I'm putting it on my new Food Wednesday. We're going to try falafel.
Falafel for me is one of those things. Every time I eat it, I'm like, yeah, really? I don't like. It's just a fried thing of I don't get. But
I would agree that sometimes falafel, unless I have like a big chunky falafel sandwich for lunch, right? It's like, what is its role in the dinner? You have to make a whole. It's like a little side or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but you could
And
probably
it's
put
not-
some vegetables in there.
I sometimes feel like I'm not going to go way out of my way to make something that's not really particularly healthy anyway. Falafel.
Right.
Like, do I need to go the extra 10 miles to get them to like eat something that's deep fried? Probably not.
Megan.
They all like falafel in college because everyone does.
Yeah. Right. It's a 3 a.m. kind of thing. So one of our listeners, Megan, says that she makes a dried beef hot dish. And I was like, what?
So I keep hearing about hot dish. What's the deal? What is it?
I think hot dish just means casserole. And I've been looking online this morning, dried beef. It's like, so take some dried beef. I'm like, what's dried beef? So I think this might be a regional thing. But I'm going to put this up on the internet because she says dried beef. It's kind of like beef stroganoff, but it's dried beef. And I'm like, do you dry the beef yourself? No, you buy it.
That's one of those combinations of words that I hear. Dry beef hot dish. And I'm like, I don't know what any of those words mean. But it doesn't sound bad.
I think a hot dish is like a one-pan casserole kind of thing.
I, for some reason, always thought it was like an Asian thing, like hot pot. or
Hot
something.
pot, right? Yeah,
Okay.
my kids like that stuff, like hot pot, like noodly things. But that's a order in kind of thing, right? That's
I
too
know.
much.
I got to get this kid off of the no noodles thing because it's like it's shutting off an entire avenue of eating that is unacceptable.
I feel like noodles are the way in to soup with any kind of soup, any kind of stew, any kind of main dish. Like it's served over noodles. Okay, I'll just give you a little bit and you can eat mostly noodles. If the goal is to get all your kids full, then noodles are a good base.
I have a go-to cookbook that has changed my life.
Oh, do tell.
It is unfortunately out of print, but you can still get it on Amazon because you just get a used copy of it. And I'm going to tell you, this cookbook has revolutionized my life. It's called The America's Test Kitchen, which is, what's that magazine? You know, Cooks Illustrated. I think it's like the Cooks Illustrated people. I believe they're the same company. And it's called The Best Simple Recipes. And the whole point is that it's foolproof recipes that cook in 30 minutes or less. And it uses a lot of ingredients like rotisserie chicken, pre-made tortellini from the store. So it's more of like an assembly cookbook. This is where I found empanadas. I have not cooked anything out of this cookbook that my kids won't eat. And it is, everything takes 30 minutes. I'm going to put a link to it. You're going to have to buy it used. But and one thing I want to do is try to see if we can find people who have more cookbooks like this for me.
Okay.
Like these are simple 30-minute, sometimes it's like 30-minute meals and they're kind of creepy, like cream of mushroom soup mixed with canned, I don't know. Sometimes they get a little yucky for me. This is like all fresh, new, easy food.
Well, there's an app that I like called Treehouse Table, and we actually met the developers of this last May, and I have found pretty good success with their recipes being stuff that doesn't take that long, and it isn't overly dependent on
Ooh, I wanna look
processed
into that
pre-ingredients, but my kids will eat them. There's a pasta with chicken and spinach and Asiago cheese. That sounds maybe a little exotic, but my kids all ate it.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff I need to try to find. All right, Treehouse. I'm going to look at that.
I think we have a lot of good resources. So I'm going to put all of the recipes that we tipped our hat to today. I'm going to put all the links to them on our show page.
We're now becoming a cooking website.
On our website,
a full
that's right.
recipe website. We're going to have to rebrand. It's all recipes now.
That's what we're going to do. We'll put them all up. We'll put a link to this very hard to get. Talk about the run that's going to exist on this out of print cookbook.
Get ready, Best Simple Recipes, America's Test Kitchen. Like there's 40 copies. The last copy is going to sell for like $45,000.
But we definitely want to hear from you. What are your go-to dinners? If you didn't tell us already, we want to hear from you. What are your go-to dinners? We want you to try some of these on our show page and tell us what you think. And there's a couple of ways you can find us.
You can find us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/whatfreshhellcast.
We're also on Instagram at whatfreshhellcast. You could send us a picture of your go-to dinner.
And of course, we're tweeting. We're in Twitter at WFH Podcasts.
Yes, you
I have so much trouble getting that one right. But anyway, that's where we are.
And you can find all the recipes we talked about today on whatfreshhellpodcast.com. If you like this episode, please share it with your friends and give us a rating or a review on iTunes.
And that's go-to dinners. Go forth and make go-to dinners, one and all. And we'll see you on our next episode.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
This is a Monday.com ad. The same Monday.com helping people worldwide getting work done faster and better. The same Monday.com designed for every team and every industry. The same Monday.com with built-in AI, scaling your work from day one. The same Monday.com that your team will actually love using. The same Monday.com with an easy and intuitive setup. Go to Monday.com and try it for free. Yes, the same Monday.com.